Hey everybody, clearing a big hunk of British Columbia jade that my grandpa got. Jade is about commitment. We sometimes think diamonds are about commitment, but jade is a very beautiful stone of fidelity and commitment. Okay, so today's reading is going to be a bit interesting. Actually, I've got a whole bunch of new questions to ask, some real humdingers. These are the topics we're going to do. Other people, how your counterpart feels about other people, about commitment, about children, about life purpose, about partnership, about living situation, about energetics, spirituality of the connection, about the sexual connection, and about communication at this time. So I'm going to try and do timestamps so you can skip around to those particular portions of the reading, but let's start with a connection spread and just see what we get for the connection. So thank you, Divine Creator. What is it we can see for the masculines and feminines at this time? How are each showing up in the connection on any level? What is the predominating energy? Feminines on the left, masculines on the right, and going forward. Okay, so we have the card of free will. This is where we go from shortcut, instant gratification to long-term success, when we take accountability for the way we look at things, the way we interpret things. I'm going to clarify with the Hermit deck to see what each would say to the other about these particular energies. But I smiled when I was dealing these out because we got the moon as the feminine energy and then the sun in the connection with the Two of Orbs. This is a card of blockage, of juggling. I'm noticing that she's half exposed here. So the masculines are feeling like they are letting you half in right now. Bit by bit, I'm feeling there's going to be more of an opening up, more of a transparency. But let's look at the feminines first. So the moon here, look at how volatile this is. I have been feeling the moon energies, almost like menstrual cramping, possibly that kind of a feeling in the sacral. And there's a lot of watery emotion going on. So let's see what the feminines would say to the masculines about this emotionality and about the mystery, the moon energies. Oh my gosh, quite a few. If I follow you, I could lose everything. So the feminines are really feeling those old codependent pulls, or the stigma of it is what I'm getting. Feminines have never felt a love like this, and it's superhuman to suppose that we're not supposed to prefer it. There is a great difference between codependency and knowing who you prefer and who you want to be with and who you love and who turns you on. So divine feminines, I'm getting with this 5 that it's this same 5 of orbs, this free will, the contemplation of the fear versus the love. It matters so greatly how we interpret what we're perceiving. If we interpret a scenario through the lens of fear, we get stress hormones. If we interpret it through the lens of love, we get endorphins and dopamine. So feminines are in this emotional volatility because they're sorting through some of the core intimacy energies right now. You are wrong. The feminines are in a little bit of a resistance motion right now. Many feminines are feeling like something about the connection, your behavior, your lack of communication, your aloofness, your distance in some way might indicate that they are deluding themselves, that they are wrong. This is okay, feminines. It is healthy to question sometimes if this is your counterpart, if this is your twin. This is a reality check I'm getting for the feminines, to not lose yourself, to take a step back, to not get emotionally overwhelmed by the connection, to ground yourself. And so yeah, masculines, right now your feminines are feeling that something is giving mixed signals and that they're sorting out which end of that energy is yours and which is theirs. Love is the answer. So they know self-love is the answer. They know that deep within there is a soft sweetness, that this is sort of a control issue to project these kinds of emotional, volatile energies. Somewhere in there, the feminines know that unconditional love is the answer, but there's this new level of processing. This is the temperance process in these periods of heating and cooling. When there's some distance, we go through the ringer sometimes. My life started when I met you. So feminines saw a brave new world, a brand new world on a new level when you came into their life. I'm getting that the 2 here signifies partnership coming in, whereas the feminines for many came into mastery. Anybody who's on a twin flame level journey is already quite masterful in their own right. And then with the addition of you, they believed that love was possible, masculines, and they are open to compromise. Here's that 22. And then we have another 5. I meant what I said. So there are aspects. 5s, again, remember, are change. We've got 5, 5, 5 here. So there are things that the feminines have said in old energy that holds new meaning now, is what I'm getting. So even though they may have been prophesying, channeling, saying they loved you, the reality of what love in action, love over time, love embodied is sinking in on a deeper level. They're now not so rigid with the way that they think it should go, and they're much more open to compromise. They're much more open to including you, to balancing out. It feels to me like the feminines are hitting a wall where they're saying they can't keep giving, giving, giving without getting in return. They can't keep following you, chasing, or offering if there's not a reciprocation. So they are getting these red flags right now, masculines. They love you with all of their heart, but they know the dynamic needs to change, that they've got to find more love, more composure within to allow you to come towards them, to bring in that compromise, to stay with the knowing of what is good and right and true, what is appropriate here. Now, what can we see for the masculines? So we have the 2 of Swords. That is a blockage card, but masculines are on the verge of opening up. What would they say to the feminines at this time about this? I'm a very jealous person and I'm addicted to you. So they want to come clean about the fact that some of the hesitancy is that they haven't wanted to lose you. They've been so addicted to you, so enamored, so obsessed, that their jealousy would have damaged this connection if they had come forward sooner. I just heard enraged. So in the past, they haven't shown you this side of them that is a jealous kind of energy, meaning they haven't been healed enough to trust that you've loved them as much as they've felt for you. And they're starting to realize that that pull towards you isn't going away. It feels immovable. They want to open up and talk about that. They want to work through it. They want to admit that you have triggered them. So if they have been very aloof, distant, something has possibly come up where they know they're not jealous. They don't want to harm this. They want to love you, but they are struggling or have recently struggled with some possessiveness over something. I'm hearing the divine say, you may have noticed in the past that there were more of these volatile, hot and cold energies, and that your masculine may not have run as far or as gone as silent as in past times, but that there is a reverberation of that same kind of cycle, and the root of it is balancing out this intense, obsessive, jealous energy, and they don't want to put that on you, so they remove themselves from you when that flares up. The sun between the 2 is talking about full conscious enlightenment here and things coming to light. So feminines, you're really cracking down on the codependent tendency to overcompensate and to overreach, and masculines, you're really coming to terms with the fact that there is staying power here. I'm getting with the sun that there's an element of staying power, of seeing clearly, our self-accountability, because we have this free will. Oh boy, there's a plane. So loud. I always think of that as an omen, trips, travel, coming to see each other. Because we have this free will card coming up in the future, this amount of clarity that the counterparts are having for each other right now is allowing to take full accountability for our own actions and contributions in the dynamic. What are the masculines? I'm going to ask a slightly different question. I just got, what would the masculines like the feminines to speak about these days at this time? What is it that the masculines would like the feminines to address? Seek professional advice, legal matters. This can be financial matters. The masculines would like an update on how the feminines are doing with certain professional scenarios. So that's anything from the material world, contracts, business updates, moves. I'm just getting that this is the King of Swords kind of energy where the masculines want an update on where the feminines are at and if they still see a future with the masculines. So there seems to be this idea that the masculines feel like the feminines haven't been as transparent, or something has been taking a little longer than they expected. So the masculines, masculines just want to know that the feminines' legal matters are taken care of, is what I'm getting, or professional matters, even counseling for some, how is that going, or mediation, or custody, so many different potential things that way. Even art, business consultations, it feels like either the masculines have been waiting. Oh, got one more, you already know. So whatever it is that your masculines wanting an update on, you already know what that is, and they're curious. So don't think for a second that they've forgotten about whatever transition or life stage or advancement that you're navigating right now. They definitely are speaking about that. They want to know where you're at with that. So what can we see? What would the feminines like to know from the masculines right now? If you're listening to your heart about this new beginning, if you are sincere, serious, choosing, if you are preparing, they are curious, masculines, if your heart is guiding your way, if it's causing you to formulate an offer, prepare to come forward, to connect further. That's what they want to know. They want to know if you've got something up your sleeve, if you've got a surprise planned, if they will see you soon, hear from you soon, if you're preparing for that. Okay, now we're going to do the last thing here, and then I'm going to timestamp those other themes. So 5 of Orbs, free will. What are the masculines aware of consciously that they are beginning to look at differently for the long term in these connections? That you matter, feminines. They've been in self-preservation, self-mastery motion, and now they're really looking at how much you matter, how much there is no one like you, how much they want to repay you for your kindness, for your love, and to be there for you, to focus on you. It's your turn, the masculines are saying, and not because you didn't deserve it before, but because I couldn't give to you in the fullest until I was whole myself, is what I just heard. What do the feminines want the masculines to know going forward that they are looking at differently for the long term? Oh my goodness. Yes, and I'm sorry. So changed behavior is the biggest apology, is what I'm hearing. So the feminines want to show you every day of their lives that they never want to do anything to hurt you, masculines. And please give me time. I've never felt this way before. In the reverse, they don't want more time waiting. They want to show you this now. They want to invest in the moment. They don't want to withhold. Sometimes I wonder if you care. So the feminines want to also not be reactionary and do backup plans or repressed motions when they feel like you've gone cold for whatever reason. This was, oh yeah, I'm too afraid to talk. So these two, I'm too afraid to tell you that sometimes I wonder if you care. And I feel like crying here. So the feminines want to be more transparent. They don't want to be aloof when they get to these choice points that cause them to behave in counterintuitive ways, or to withdraw or go within or seek affection in others or busy themselves with work. They want to be more present and find the safety to bring it up to you that they've been wondering or curious if your recent actions mean that you don't care. They're too afraid to talk, so they want to be better at speaking from their heart without fear, going forward, so that you're in the loop and they're not so aloof. Okay, beautiful energies in the collective. Let's have a look now at other people. How are the divine feminines and masculines looking at other people, the theme of other people? So this is whether you're in a third party situation or not, because we can have the backup plans or other people in our hearts, whether we're with another physical person or not. So let's see, how are the masculines going regarding other people? Well, okay, well, we get twin flame versus karmic options. So there is a distinction here. The masculines know that the two shall stand the test of time and that they are going towards. So if I were to do this in a math equation, this connection is greater than the sum of all other options. That's so fun. So masculines know that everything else is kind of fluff. It's not really satiating. Look at how black and white dreary that is, and how colorful, full spectrum this connection is with the twin flames. So they know that no one compares to you, feminines. Where are the feminines at with regard to other people and these connections? Well, psychically, intuitively, they know they've tried options, they've seen other things. They want eternal alignment, they want true love, they want unconditional love. And so what I'm hearing with that is the feminines just want the connection that shows them this. So if it's your connection, masculines, then they are all in. If it's someone else that comes in and affords them that glory, then so be it. They're not going to hang on to you just because their ego says so, or just because they've seen signs and synchronicities. They want real, grounded, authentic love. They want someone who can be their everything behind closed doors and in public, I just heard. So they are desiring a full-on love in every regard, integrated into every aspect of their lives, and they won't settle for anything less. And so until your connection shows itself to be of that caliber, they are staying balanced, they're staying neutral, the jury is out. But they have a hunch, because they are sharing this in this twin flame arena, that you're the one. I do want to say that. Okay, so let's see what the masculines' thoughts are on commitment at this time. Readiness for commitment. Oh, snap, the Empress. So they are working on their abundance. The Empress can be a card of abundance, but this is the joy in life. This is the fertility. So I actually want to pull cards on commitment and children. I don't know why I was felt to use this deck for both, because this is also a pregnancy card. So they want to have children, for those that resonate with that, hand in hand with fidelity and commitment and monogamy. But they also want full abundance in all regard. Let's get one card for the masculines regarding specifically children. So only take what resonates. So the Moon and the King of Cups, they're getting really emotional about the menstrual cycles, about the fertility. If fertility issues are a concern, they are really processing their expectations regarding that. Children and commitment are heavily on the mind with you. They're processing any of the fears prior to this connection. Telepathic, we've got these wolves on the Moon card here. There is a lot of 5D communication and navigation. So if you've been feeling sexual pull, that menstrual, sacral chakra kind of feeling, if you're a masculine in feminine form, you could be feeling bloated, you could be feeling cramping, you could be feeling so many things as well in the sacral chakra. You don't need to have a uterus for these feelings to be felt. But there is an energetic thing going on right now as the masculines work on their fears specifically. I'm going to get a clarifier and see what are the bigger concerns. What are the masculines' collective concerns that they're processing and becoming emotionally available? Their destined path, their hopes and dreams, the things that really matter to them. They're taking a deep dive into understanding what those very things are that are most important to them, because they do have a sense that you contain anything, any option, any possibility and potential that they have ever dreamed that they might want. And that includes children or no children. But there is no other person that gets them on every single level, and they're really coming to terms with this. So there's a lot of emotional processing for the masculines at this time regarding commitment and children and their hopes and dreams. And the reality check that they have found you, that they have found somebody that can meet them in exactly their hopes and dreams, or at least desires to, wholeheartedly. And that is actually, now that I say that out loud, that's something that's been coming to me energetically today in my own meditations, is just this reality sinking in that it's not every day that you find somebody that actually wants the same things as we want and speaks about those like the divine feminines do. There is an emotional transparency, and it can be a little bit remarkable when we realize that it's sometimes quite difficult to find somebody that wants the same things, let alone someone that's so easygoing about and expressive or transparent or free flow with those very things that we want. It can feel a little bit like a trick. The masculines are asking themselves, why is it that they aren't trusting it? What is it in them that needs to heal or move so that they can let it sink in and become receptive to this person that they are so incredibly attracted to, also wanting those things with them? What is it that, there's a disbelief that they've actually found this person. They thought it would be harder, take longer. It hasn't panned out when they thought it would before. It's all these energies they're looking at right now. I'm getting a sense of solitude. I heard another reader say, I think it was Steve's Love Tarot, say that the masculines are in a dark forest right now and it's kind of spooking them, and they're really looking to the divine feminine, I think is what he said, as whom they would want to find solace with, being that they're kind of in the wilderness at this point. That was an interesting thing I heard today. So let's see what we can for the feminines regarding commitment with the theme of commitment, 5 of coins. So they feel, the divine feminines have felt like in these periods of separation that they have been committed all along, that they've learned what commitment through thick and thin feels like, and specifically through thick and thin, in periods of communication or not, in periods of clarity or not, in periods of distance or not, in so many different cycles. The feminine's love has never changed for the masculine. It could always become hot and heavy at the drop of a hat, I just heard. What about children, feminines? Oh, the world. So it's interesting because we got the Empress, and in many decks, the Empress is pregnant. And then in the world, that is often the Empress in the midst of the having it all, the full cycle. So the feminines truly believe they've gone through the gamut of things that would test the relationship, both from you, divine masculine, and from circumstances in the world, their own karmic circumstances. They believe that no rock has been left unturned and that they are actually ready to do it right with you, is what I just heard. Okay, so that's really beautiful. Let's get into, so if children don't resonate, or if you're not in desiring children, take the commitment cues there. Okay, life purpose. Let's see, where are the masculines at regarding life purpose at this time with their deeper fulfillment? 7 of Cups. So Lord of Illusionary success. This kind of came out on the neutral. 7 of Cups talks about seeing that one holy grail through the midst of the options. And so they're kind of taking stock of all the things that they thought would pan out that didn't actually pan out. And I'm getting the sense that they're looking at the external expectations associated with having thought that these things were the big ticket. And they're really dropping into their heart and understanding, is what I'm hearing, is that when they're excited about something, that intrinsic motivation is such a motivator that they can't find when they're people pleasing or doing the expected path. I'm drawn to the Virgo symbols here, and thinking of Virgo season with coinciding with the eclipse season. So it feels like these people pleasing regarding purpose, life purpose, is going to close out with this next eclipse. And also we're getting the feminine symbol, so Virgo season and the feminine. So I'm also getting that life purpose is going to be tied in more and more to you, divine feminine. Then we get 3 of Cups and the King of Cups again. So Lord of Abundance, and this is the emotional king, this emotional mastery. So all these cups, it's all cups here. 10 of Cups, 7 plus 3 is the 10 of Cups, and we've got the King of Cups. So the masculines are tuning into their emotional mastery. In this free will universe, we use emotions as a toggle system to navigate duality. We have suffering and freedom. We have love and fear, or fear and love. We have the emotional scale. And so the masculines are virtuosos with the emotions now. And they've learned how to balance out and find their abundance by being able to shoot the eye of the needle and forecast or feel into or discern or prophesy, intuit what they need to do. And they've tested it time and time again regarding the playing field, their colleagues, their line of work, their business advisors, their superiors, their employees, their families, their karmic partners. They've considered wholeheartedly all these vantage points, and they are realizing that only they know what is a best fit for them. It's not a cookie cutter, and they're beginning to give themselves permission to let go of the fear of letting people down or failing so they can go towards their success. Most of life purpose has to do with this very thing. This is mastery. When we come into mastery, everything else we do is easier. It is more sure-footed. It's more deliberate. It's more confident. So the masculines are tapping into the confidence to step on life purpose. And I really do get that this eclipse season is going to usher in the end of sort of September into October is going to start bringing in a change of direction regarding life purpose, or a deepening of what they are already in. It's like they're very, very busy processing right now and sorting out their options. And I'm getting the sense that the people around them aren't going to see it coming, the changes that they're going to do next season, when they fully own their happiness and start talking about, with more emotional transparency, what they have got up their sleeve, I just heard, as far as ideas for abundance going forward, that again have to do with the feminine. How interesting. Okay, I just heard partnering with the feminine, their divine feminine. What about life purpose for the divine feminines at this time? Two of Wands, Lord of Dominion. So the feminines have this dialed in many regards. They know what's up. They've been on their life purpose all of their life. They've been really specializing, but they feel like they have that under their belt. For some, there is a knowing that the Two of Wands, that it's the everything together, this world, this holistic approach. The feminines are hardwired to include the masculine, to receive the masculine within the dreams that they set, the goals they set, the envisioning of the world going forward, their world. This fell on the commitment and children. So life purpose is connected with rearing conscious children, being in monogamous fidelity with a counterpart, with the divine masculine. And so they actually feel like, aside from the careers and healing modalities and artistic and teaching pursuits that they do, that the commitment, the fidelity, and the third energy and potentially children are part of the life purpose. They really feel like their life and their choices are an act of life purpose, that you are a portion of their life purpose, that your union is connected with their life purpose, divine masculines, in that sacred way. Okay, let's have a look at partnership. Being told to use this deck for both partnership and living situation. So what can we see for the masculines regarding partnership with the feminine at this time? Freedom is yours and be playful, 33. So masculines are understanding that they have the freedom to be with and do whatever they want. Freedom is theirs. They see the freedom here. So they know that this partnership would afford them as much flexibility as they feel they could trust themselves with. Be playful is in the reverse, and I clearly heard be playful but not too playful. So they are very discerning with how much liberty, how much freedom to take, and they're very conscious right now about where those unspoken ethics and boundaries and moral codes are that they've come to. So they're being respectful and considering where those fine lines of freedom and disrespect are, is what I'm getting. And I'm being reminded of the card that the masculines were sorting with the Five of Swords in the first portion of the reading, talking about you matter, divine feminines. And so they're very empathic, compassionate about how their actions affect you regarding the partnership. And I'm hearing they've tried to keep your tender heart intact this whole time, even when it didn't look like they were coming forward. A lot of the time they did put up clear communication about their intentions so that for the record you wouldn't be overly invested or deluded by their readiness or not, or lack thereof. And so now they're very much realizing they don't need to play so hard or in so many different directions because they have true freedom. And I heard that's because they know what love actually is. They're not having to look for it anymore. What can we see for the masculines regarding living situation? Now is a lucky time. So there's abundance going on. There are new potentials opening up. That could be financially. This could be a windfall. And getting for some, there's inheritance, even lottery, and I heard gambling. I am not a promoter of gambling, but I did hear that for just one. Now is a lucky time. Things are speeding up with the rabbit energy here. I'm getting that there is a desire to have a space. You know, I'm just making jokes about the way rabbits are always seen to be kind of frisky and sensual. And I'm getting that they really want to have more access to you physically, sexually on a daily basis. And we have babies there, little baby bunnies. So they do want to create a nest, a home, a living situation that at least allows you to spend a lot more intimate time together. What can we see for the feminines regarding partnership? Where are the feminines at regarding readiness for partnership with the masculine? Watch and wait and time for a deep dive. So the feminines know that it's the masculines, it's in the masculine court, and that they are waiting here with the swan imagery. I was thinking about partnership the other day and I saw 2 swans on a pool, and I took that as a sign. So this is a personal sync for me. That's cool. Time for a deep dive though. And so feminines know that there's only one place to go, and that means getting to know each other on a daily basis. We've known the soul of these people. We've known the connection of our counterpart. And now it's about watch and wait. Feminines not having to do that work. They want it to be smooth. They want it to be fluid. They want it to fall into place. They want it to unfold naturally. And they know that the only place that it can go is deeper now. There's a foundation being set. The feminines again are reminding me that we've gone through the gamut. We've seen it from all angles, and the love is still freaking there. What can we see for living situation regarding the feminine side of the energy? Be loyal to what you love. Why not? You get to decide what the most healthy, beneficial configuration is. So feminines, be loyal to what you love. You don't have to pretend for any kind of pretense reason that you don't desire to be closer in a living situation. So that can be moving closer, that can be living together, that can be any way. But why not be loyal to what you love? So if you love living apart, be loyal to that. I'm hearing feminines. It's all manner of preference coming in. So it's up to you. Manifest what is best for you. Okay, so let's see. Now we're going to get into where the masculines and feminines are at regarding the energetics of this connection and the spirituality. So I've got 2 decks for this portion. Thank you, Divine Creator. What can we see for where the masculines are at regarding specifically spirituality and this journey, the spiritual aspects of this journey? What can we see for that? Ooh, well, we get the feminine here in the neutral. So in the past, the feminines got all amped up on these energetic connections and the twin flame dogma and the intensity of the twin flame concepts. They are seeing, your divine counterpart is seeing you calm down a little bit about that, divine feminines, and not walk away from them just because they may not share your same philosophy, or they're not feeling you, divine feminine, pull away anymore when you don't feel like your masculine gets it through the same paradigm that you hold. They're also not wanting to walk away from you just because you describe your feelings and emotions and experiences through a different lens than their personal experience has. So there's a neutrality about feeling like the two are at too much of an odds over the spiritual aspects. So that can be different religions, that can be different paradigms, different ethnicities, that can be differences in age, that can be marital status, that can be partnerships, morality, any kind of point of contention that may have made the masculines feel like there was too much of a gap regarding the belief systems, the preferences, the moral codes, something there. They're seeing how this is not necessarily a deal breaker. It's all in how you look at it. I'm being reminded of that free will, Five of Swords at the beginning again. So what about the energetics specifically with the counterpart? What are the masculines feeling regarding the energetic assessment? Harmony, cooperation and dynamic interaction, and exhilaration, enthusiasm, learning, generosity, and fortune. So they are feeling that there's a synergy, a same page energy coming in that's allowing them to believe that they could get enthusiastic about the abundance available here. So energetically, whatever these discrepancies were, or the perceived discrepancies, they're seeing past that. Those have neutralized, and they're beginning to see, I think we got that message the other day, that whatever those differences were, they're actually being seen as unique strong suits that lend and afford a vast spectrum of knowledge, wisdom, perspective, uniqueness to the connections. And you know, the definition of genius is taking things that already exist and combining them and using them in new ways. So I would say that the genius of harmony and abundance, generosity, learning, enthusiasm, these are all very growth infused energies that are coming from no longer having this spirituality or the energetic differences be a deal breaker. What can we see for the feminines regarding spirituality and this connection? Love is all that matters. No matter how you arrive at it or what paradigm you express it through, the bottom line is whether there's love or not. And so the feminines don't want to force an agenda. They don't want to manipulate or convince you to see it a certain way. They're doing the inner work so that they're just focused on the love, and whether love is showing up or not. It doesn't matter. What a rose by any other name is just as sweet. Yeah, roses there. So the feminines are coming down off of the need to profess a cult-like dogma about the twin flame journey perspective, and just realizing it's all about love. If we found love, there's nothing else that matters. No paradigm, no misinterpretation or lost in translation or specifics matter. It's just that simple. It's all about the love. Where are the feminines at regarding the energetic connection they feel with their counterpart right now? The heart is awake, love, innocence, and reverence. Yeah, they're just revering the love beyond all of the different classifications and paradigms. They are just coming back to that simple, innocent, heart opening. Love is love is love. Okay, so now we're going to do the sexual connection. Okay, intimacy, sexual connection. Where are the counterparts at regarding the sexual connection? Erotic Tarot. So for the masculines, what can we see for the current take, experience, contemplation for the sexual connection? That was fast. Six of Candles. So that is the Six of Wands. So that's moving this intimate connection into the public knowledge. Four of Candles. That's the Four of Wands, which is union. And wow, Seven of Candles. So this is all soul stuff. This is all the foundation on that deepest level. And the Seven of Candles, which is a card of internal bravery. So let's see what these say. Six of Candles. Enjoy a great display of a display of earned success, trophy partners, strutting couples, and parades of dazzling beauty, confidence in the advantages and success that success brings. So as we've balanced out, as the masculines have now neutralized whatever the disparities were in the connection, and they've balanced out and seen what a blessing in disguise these differences actually have been, now they want to strut their stuff with you in the public, feminines. They really want to take advantage of this success and be in full confidence. They want to shout from the rooftops, show the world they're with you. They want to be seen in public. They want to dance with you. They want to tell all the friends. They don't care what family, friends, ministers, other people would say about your connection. I just heard work colleagues. They have bold confidence that it's a privilege to be together and for others to know. There's no more hiding. It's like the coast is clear. The safety has been reached. Enjoy a great display of earned success, and that is because it's authentic on the soul level. So the masculines are all up in the soul right now. 4 of Wands, your first big success and the stability it brings. So this is a major, their sexual acknowledgement of you as a sexual partner, as an intimate partner, the world knowing about you as their lover, as their choice, as their mate, as their monogamous one. This is the first big success because the masculines are wholeheartedly now looking past any insecurities and worthiness issues to affirm that this is a path of stability. Acknowledging this intimate connection that only the two of you share and have ever shared on this deep of a level is the first big success, and that stability is coming in. A base has been erected on which to nurture and build your ambitions. I can't even read because I'm like, she said erected. I'm such a goof sometimes. A time of relief and domestic bliss. Cohabit in harmony. So the masculines are truly believing that this is the first connection that they could actually live with day in and day out and be in harmony. We've had the living situation, we've had harmony already. So none of the things that have, bubbled up and been disruptions in other connections hold water in this one. They don't stand a chance. That's not what this soul alignment resonates with. So they really want to cohabit with harmony and have domestic bliss. So this is behind closed doors and out in public. They know that this is their soul. So 6 of Candles and 4 of Candles, the end of burden. That's the 10 of Wands, which is where we reduce and we can be of earthly good and focus on the Ace of Wands, which is life purpose. 7 of Candles, a victory that needs defending or upholding, once more with feeling, if you want to prove yourself to someone. So that's when it's in the uprights. There's no more need to prove. Don't be unnecessarily defensive. Make room for someone else in your relationship. So that's what the masculines are doing. They're now focused on you mattering, feminines, and this partnership. They're very much allowing for this sexual pull they have with you, the intimacy, to naturally bring you into living together, people around you knowing that you're partnered. This is the bravery to let you in on this soul level I just heard. Masculines are opening up to the confidence to let you in on the soul level. How beautiful. Okay, let's see what the feminine's level of intimacy is. Where are the feminines at regarding intimacy? Oh, 10 of Candles. We just got that 4 and 6. So isn't that interesting? There's some mirroring there. 10 of Candles. So feminines are on the same page with all of this. You've become very good at pleasing others at your own expense, right? So the feminines started this reading with saying, if I follow you, I could lose everything. So it's a self-containing motion and not pleasing others at our own expense anymore, feminines. You suspect that if you want to be pleasured, the only one that you can rely on is yourself. And I'm not saying in a self gratification kind of, secret kind of way, like alone time way. This is you setting those healthy boundaries to not overextend and to not give where it's not warranted, appreciated, wanted, needed. Oftentimes it is an attempt to be useful or to be important that we do certain things. And somebody who's in wholeness doesn't actually need us to do those things. There are other more joyful outlets for love than to run someone's self ragged or exhaust or, keep missing the mark with what would actually be appreciated. So yeah, you only have yourself to report to. Your intuition knows where that fine line is, divine feminine. So there is a preparation here, because when you come together more intimately, when you're living together, when you're harmonizing on these next levels, your sexual energies are tied into your emotional well-being and how you are overexerting yourself or not. If there is an imbalance with you giving too much at your own expense, that comes out in passive aggressive ways, that comes out in hurt feelings, it comes out in being frigid, it comes out in being dismissive, it comes out in being resentful. So divine feminines, take a good hard look at what happens when you put yourself in harm's way by doing things that aren't actually appreciated. And it's not just that someone is rude or unkind or insensitive that they wouldn't appreciate it. It can be because it's misguided on your part to do those things in the first place. So there seems to be a real preparation to coming into harmonious union by feminines taking accountability for the fact that they don't need to overgive. They can just live as a whole autonomous being, and that the scales are being balanced, I just heard. Beautiful. Okay, now the final pile I have here is communication. So what can we see for communication? Where are the masculines at regarding communication in these connections? What's on the masculine's mind and heart regarding communication? The Hermit, Eight of Cups, and Two of Swords. So they're walking away from blocking. Two of Swords in the reverse is that transparency beginning. They're walking away from hedging you out while they're in Hermit mode. Hermit in the reverse is talking about a return. It's talking about walking away from blocking and returning to a little bit more transparency. They're on the return, I just heard. They're coming back from the hermitage. They're coming out of the blocked energy. They've come to some ideas about what they authentically want, the confidence they've acknowledged. So what is it that they would like to say? Actually, we'll go to the Hermit Tarot, since we got the Hermit opening up. What is it that the masculines would say to the feminines about the hermitage that they've been on? Think before you act. So they have just been taking space to think and consider what would be the most loving thing to do and say before they actually share that with you. They don't want to do anything that's not their own initiative, because they don't want to live up to somebody else's expectations. They want it to be genuine. What are they walking away from? Things that are not balanced love. Ace of Cups, and in the neutral position is ultimately balanced love. So they're walking away from being imbalanced in love. What is the unblocking? Okay, so they may tell you that even though the sex is amazing, they have held back the sex in the past because they've feared that your family won't like them for whatever reason. whatever reason they haven't wanted to be in competition with specifically your family views, your children, exes, parents. And so at times they've gotten cold feet and held back or haven't initiated the sexual connection because they haven't felt that it was appropriate to do that because of complex family dynamics or other karmic partners. You know, take it how it resonates. So they're going to open up to the fact that they've been very conscious about that, or at least they're finding their truth, that they don't have to be so rigid with it anymore. So I'm just going to see, because they're walking away from this, what are they moving into? What is the new paradigm that they are telling themselves? I just wish and dream for everything, and if I asked you to stay, would you leave? So even though they've had conditionality that they've felt they've had to honor and respect the current circumstances, they are really wanting to compromise that or have a meeting in the middle. They want you, they can't resist any longer, and they want everything with you. They want everything with you, even though there might be other circumstances still going on. They don't want to keep putting this distance in there, and so they kind of, they're thinking before they tell you that they feel like they can't wait any longer to explore deepening this, even if there are lingering circumstances. They feel they've been very, very patient. They feel like they've been trying to take the high road. They've trying to keep their distance, but they don't want to do it anymore. And they're seeing how their emotions have been very volatile, that jealousy piece, that they see you starting to thrive on a new level, and they don't see a reason why they shouldn't be part of that. So the times they be a-changing, I just heard. So yeah, the masculines are contemplating, saying, is there room for more of me in your life? You matter so much to me. I feel like I'm missing out because of these reasons that I thought were important. How sweet, masculines. Okay, what can we see for the feminines regarding communication? What is it that the feminines, it fell right on the masculine. So Queen of Swords in the reverse. This can also be karmic partners on the masculine side. This can be unkind things. It can be things left unspoken, being that it's a communication card in the reverse. So the feminines, what would they say about this Queen of Swords energy to the masculines? You hurt me, but that's okay, I guess. So yeah, you not talking has left me guessing, has left me in not knowing. I felt your pain empathically, but the ambiguity was a little bit difficult. I've balanced out. I still trust the love, but wouldn't communication, wouldn't heart to heart be a little bit easier if we could just be transparent and unafraid to bring these things up? I'm hearing the masculine saying, I haven't been confident to say and do things the right way, so I would have put both feet in it, both feet in my mouth. Okay, what would the feminines say to the masculines if they could say anything? I want to start a family with you. It's in the reverse, so I'm getting only if you want that too, masculines. So again, that doesn't just mean children, that can mean fur babies, that can mean a business together. It can mean so many things. So yeah, the feminines are holding back. They haven't said just how much they want to be completely integrated into your life. And it's no joke. It's no joke. Okay, much love, everyone. Bye for now. I will see you next week.